Hey gang, good morning. Got a little bit of a late start this morning, but dang, lots has happened already in the market. Getting a pretty good bounce, but obviously bearish on that news. I have a little green like bounce box. It hasn't quite reached that. So if we get a little bit lower at the market open, that might be something to watch for. Coming up to the weekly VWAP right now, so that could be a spot where we reject a little bit too. I get a birthday eve. Thank you. Tomorrow's my birthday. What a drop. So definitely bearish over the last couple of minutes, but overall still higher highs, higher lows. If we stay above this green box, I would still kind of be leaning towards longs. But we do have FOMC later today. So today could be a little bit funky. That trade last night on gold ended up working out pretty well, G-Man. I would have to look back at my executions, but, and that's actually something I was going to add to the training. I was kind of collecting some examples that I was going to share with you guys, but I wrote it down to previous day low. So yeah, that was a sweet trade on gold. Actually, I take that back. That's the one that bounced. It didn't go all the way down to that 49.80 target that we were talking about. I think it hit my trailing stop loss, but still, it was a very green trade. All right, guys, market opens in 1 minute. Watching to see if it comes down to my green box and bounces, or if we just shoot up and find some resistance. We'll kind of see what happens. I'm going to stay patient. The New York session probably needs to process this PPI data a little bit, and then we have FOMC later. I'm not planning on jumping into any position super quick. Good morning, chat. If you haven't already, hit that like button on your way in. Happy Wednesday, FOMC day. Yep, I'm definitely taking it easy today. Gonna trade cautious, probably size down. If I don't see anything that I love, I might not take anything. After FOMC might be a better opportunity. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this market open goes. Not a ton of excitement. The big move may have happened an hour ago. Did anyone trade PPI? Definitely some big opportunities. I didn't trade it. I wasn't around. But dang. Good morning, everyone. Kind of chopping around a little bit here. This might be a sign of what's to come today with CPI or FOMC today, guys. Not a whole lot of excitement, but that's okay. It's a good exercise in testing patience, right? Keep those accounts alive. What is our range so far? 55 points in the first 5 minutes. That's funny. Am I on the ES chart? Did I make a mistake? Wow. This is worse than Asia. Nice. Looks like we had a couple people trading PPI. Good work. Lukey, yeah, you have to manually do it. You can't do the bracket orders. This is not worse than Asia. Depends on which Asia session, I guess. Yeah, you kind of have to get used to trading gold. It's a new beast. The Forex market looks wild today. I'm sure. There's a lot of stuff going on today. We have factory orders at 10 o'clock. The biggest thing that the market's probably waiting for is FOMC interest rate decision. And then really the real move happens when the press conference happens afterwards, when Powell talks. So that's usually when like the true move happens. All right, we're about 10 minutes in. Let's start marking off our range. Is this just going to kind of be a slow grind up to start retracing this move? It's an interesting open. Yeah, it's not so much like there's a last report I read, there was like a 96% chance or 99% chance that there was going to be no change. The real thing that you got to watch for is what Powell says afterwards. Does he have more of a hawkish tone, or is he like saying that we're going to have more rate cuts? I think that's the key, is to factor in what's going to happen next. Are we going to have multiple rate cuts this year? Is it just going to be one? I think some people are thinking that the next rate cut could be in like over the summer, June or July, I think is what I read. Or is he going to delay it to like September? That's why I was saying that's when the real move happens, is when he actually talks in the press conference. Not when the rate decision comes out, because that's already priced in. Unless something comes out that is not expected. If the rate does change, when they're expecting no change, then that would be something else. But it really just matters what he says, what his tone is afterwards in the press conference. The value areas that I have on the chart are for the New York session from yesterday. Previous day's New York session is what I add on there. So we have VWAP up here at 25.34. That could be a decent spot for a pullback. I don't know. Honestly, right now I'm kind of just torn. It's still a bullish market overall if you zoom out on, the 15-minute chart. It depends on what time frame you're on, but we could be just retracing this whole PPI dump. Or it could remain bearish. We could be finding a spot to reject at and go back down. I don't really have a bias today. 2 more minutes until this 15-minute opening range is set. That was a decent rejection right there. It's sitting right at the weekly VWAP right now, and that's about 50% of our range. Could bounce here. Or it could dump back down to maybe my little green box. That'd be cool. This is our pre-market low right here. Tricky, tricky. This is kind of just chopping around in the middle of the range right now. Our 15-minute opening range is set. And we have some VWAPs down here. So that could have been a good long, honestly. I think I would rather see it come down to either this London low or the green box to bounce. It could go from here, though. crude oil going up, NQ going down, is it like a seesaw motion? Are you asking if they're like inversely correlated? No, I don't believe so. I don't have data to like say that I back tested that, but I'm pretty sure that they're affected by totally different things, different factors. Maybe in the right climate, they could be inversely correlated, but I don't think it's reliably so. But like I said, I don't have data to say what that is, what the stats on that are. No, I'm not having that issue with Trade of 8. Have you hit a daily loss limit, or did you lock out your account or anything like that? Anyone else gambling this morning? There's a couple people that traded PPI and made some good money. Well, it looks like that trade is playing out. I didn't take it, but there was some decent confluence for a long at this level. That was the 50% mark of the range, plus the weekly VWAP and the New York anchored VWAP. So, right there. I was kind of talking about it as we were at that level. I wasn't confident with taking it, though. Because, like I said, I would like to have it come down to, like, 840s before taking a long. But we'll see. It's looking pretty slow, kind of choppy. What's our range at? We only have like a 93-point range so far. What's gold doing? Same kind of thing with gold. It's coming down to the midpoint of the 15-minute opening range, and it's at that New York anchored VWAP. Interesting price action all around. Av Stewart, have you tried? I wonder if you have like another existing order that you don't know about. Have you tried clicking exit and cancel all? Or like logging out, logging back in? I don't know. I've never had that happen. So we do have factory orders here in about 8 minutes. After that, we just have crude oil inventories at 10:30. Not a huge deal for NQ usually. And then FOMC and rate decision after that. Gonna try long around 850-ish. With a 100-point stop loss. With 2 minis, right? Good morning, Chez. Cone Relay, the plan right now, so the short-term plan is to wait for the next 6 minutes to see if there's anything with news. Leaning towards longs if it stays above this green box zone. I would like to have it come a little bit lower, maybe sweep London low and come down into like the 840-ish region. If we get a good bullish buy up from this area, I would be interested in a long. Other way, if we do come up to like 2514 to 2520-ish, somewhere in here, and show weakness, I might consider a short. But really, the plan today is to stay patient. Because I do know that FOMC is later, and this honestly is just a day to survive and not blow accounts. So if you don't see something you like, don't take it. Because sometimes there might be a good opportunity later today at 2:30 or 3 after Powell speaks. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. 230 to 260, somewhere in this area. Sweep London low, come into this green box, and big ol' bounce. What's going on with gold? Anything? Oh, man. Whole lot of nothing. It had a big old drop with the PPI, too. Too bad I wasn't at my computer. Look at that short. Dang. Oh, the green box is just a bounce zone that I have. If you look to the left, that was just kind of where we had a massive move up on the higher time frame. So there was a little bit of accumulation to the left of that big old candle. So if it comes back there, it could bounce again. Always another day. The market's always here. Yep. That's a good thing to remind yourself. Like if you ever start to feel panicky, like I haven't taken a trade yet today. I'm not going to hit my profit target today. Remind yourself, it's okay. There's always going to be another opportunity. Plenty of opportunity in the market. That's what I love about trading, Troy Mac. When people have similar levels but for different reason, it's like more confluence, more reason. It's always funny when I'm like watching a certain level because of like volume profile or, you know, something that's within my strategy, and then someone else is in the chat is like, yeah, there's an RSI down there or something, or the 40 EMA. I'm like, cool. I don't even watch that stuff, but it gives a little extra confluence. Confirms to me that maybe I'm learning something. One thing I've found, and I'm sure you guys know this too, like it's very common knowledge in the trading space. There's so many different strategies that work. It's the execution that is the important part. So that's one thing that I've learned is to like trust my levels. Trust that my analysis is good. I just have to stay patient and wait for it. The thing that gets me is when I get too eager or impatient or whatever, and I just kind of FOMO in. Like right here, if I was to take that long that I was talking about 10 minutes ago, because it bounced off the midpoint of the range, it bounced off of VWAP, I probably would have had my break-even stop loss get hit because there's no continuation. And then I would have been feeling anxious about like a choppy market and not really reading it right. And that just messes with my emotions. And watch, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but oftentimes if I just wait an hour or 2 hours or however long it takes and it actually comes down into my level and I get one trade and I don't have to sit through all that like anxious chop, it's so much better. And sometimes my levels don't get hit. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I think that's the key to trading is just like trust your analysis and be patient and wait for it to actually play out. And I think the way to get confident in your levels or your analysis or whatever you mark on your chart is journaling. Journal that trade, not just the one that you took and the one that you made money on or even the one that you lost on, but I've said this before, I haven't talked about it in a while, so if you're new here, this is good advice. Journal the best setup of the day, the best trade of the day, according to your analysis. So like for me, maybe it's a failed auction or like a 15-minute opening range, breakout and retest or whatever, or a liquidity sweep off of previous day low. maybe I didn't take that trade, but journal the best trade of the day. Like, dang, I should have taken that trade. And it teaches you to be patient and wait for it, because sometimes I've hit my daily loss limit before that trade of the day happens, and I'm like, dang, I should have just waited. I should have been more patient. But it also teaches, like, it trains your eye to actually be able to see those trades in real time. So if you guys don't journal, you got to start journaling. If you already do, add that to what you're doing. Journal the best trade of the day, like the A+ setup of the day, whether you took it or not. Train yourself to look for those. Can I think of any other important news dates? FOMC, CPI, PPI is another one. NFP, rollover week. I mean, there's lots. Like, be aware of all the red folder news, but you kind of named the big ones. Also, I would say be aware of any low volume times of year. So, like, the week of Thanksgiving and the week between Christmas and New Year's, or like really the whole last half of December. Those are big ones. This is really just chopping around in the middle of the range. This is ugly. Don't diddle in the middle. Have you guys heard that one before? Oh, Surfix, passing evals and feeling like you have to get it done in time before your next, like, reset fee is charged. Yeah, I feel ya. That's one of the reasons that I love Lucid. Anyone in the chat who asks who I recommend for prop firms, if you're new, or not even if you're new, but if you like to take your time with evals and you're not trading like a DGen and like passing it in 2 days like most people, if you're actually going to take your time and you don't want to feel pressured before the 30-day fee is charged, Lucid doesn't charge a monthly fee. So check them out. You just pay one-time eval. There's no reset, no monthly charge. Hands down, the best for beginners. Yeah, FOMC and rollover. That's kind of, I mean, Monday morning, that's what I was talking about. I was expecting price to suck a little bit. Price action. Wow. I don't know, gang. Pretty ugly. It's like watching paint dry. I know. I was trying to say this is worse than trading Asia, and someone in the chat argued with me. They're like, this is not worse than Asia. I think it is. Sometimes Asia can be good. You only diddle in the middle when you full port. Yeah. When you're trying to pass one of those one-day pass evals, throw on a couple minis in the middle of the range. Just guess 50-50, long or short. What do you think? That's the best way to pass an eval. When will we get a good chart day? Probably after FOMC. Or next week. Oh, that's good to know. June 15th and September 14th is going to be another week like this where there's FOMC and rollover in the same week. Might need to book my vacations on those weeks. June 15th and September 14th, I'm going to be gone those weeks. Because if it's going to be like this, it ain't worth it. What's the difference between Lucid Pro and Lucid Flex? There's quite a few differences, but just to name a few, the Lucid Flex, it's a 2-day pass. So there's a 50% consistency on the eval, so you have to pass in at least 2 days. The Pro is a 1-day to pass. I know the numbers off the top of my head for the 50K account because that's what I always trade. So if you're trading a different size, these numbers won't apply. But for the Flex account, the max payout is $2,000 per account. The Pro is $1,500, so it's a little bit less. But the upside, when you bring that money to live, you get to bring a whole lot more with the Pro account. The Pro there is a consistency in the funded, but it's only 3 days to a payout. The Flex is 5 days to a payout, but there's no consistency. So just a few little differences. In my opinion, just to kind of summarize it, I think that the Flex is a little bit easier for beginners because there's no consistency, and then it does have the bigger payout option. But if you're a better trader, if you're consistent and you're going to get lots of payouts and move to the live stage, then Pro is probably better for you. Yeah, this is a massive barcode today. Like, worse than any other day this week. Any excitement on gold? I mean, at least it's kind of trending up a little bit. All right, I'm still watching this same area, 840s to 860s. If it sweeps that Linden low and we get a buy up, maybe along there. Are we going to get something? Maybe, maybe. All right, we're at least coming down to the bottom of the 15-minute opening range. Come on, keep going lower. Oh, Coach Set's riding the short. Let's see. Let's see if it goes down. It did close outside the bottom of the range. Not continuing down. Yikes, you guys. This is painful. What the heck? Yeah, Lukey, there is quite a bit of confluence for that level down there. Like 820 to 840-ish. I feel you, Jasmine. Can NQ just like cooperate here? Come on. I'm going to wait, see if it comes down to that 840-ish level. 830s. G-Man, you didn't miss a dang thing. I expected it today to be a little bit choppy and like rangy, but I did not expect it to be this bad. I think our total range is like 100 points for the New York session. 109. That's our total range so far. The calm before the storm. Yeah, and the storm actually might not come until the press conference today. How are we doing on likes, chat? We got 146 people watching. Let's see. 64. 64 likes. Let's see if we can get it up to 100 real quick. If everyone goes and hits it, we would be there. And then, question, is Kyla here in the chat? I was going to do Lucid or Tradeify giveaway. If she's here, I'll do Tradeify. Because I know that's been her vote. I did Lucid the last 2 days. I know. Alright, Kyla's here. Cool. We'll do a Lucid account today. Or, sorry, a Tradeify Select account. I'll do Tradeify today. I did Lucid the last 2 days. I do have more Lucid accounts, though, so I can do that tomorrow and Friday. We'll do them all week. Today, tomorrow, and Friday. David K's been doing cardio with quackers. Yeah, really, I feel like these ducks need to do some sprint training. Because they have like one little push and then they just die. So you need to train that like fast twitch for a long time kind of conditioning. So go do some duck sprints. That's the key to winning. Or flex your fingers so that you can do the keyboard faster. Do some finger flexing exercises. Known. 3909, my duck smokes 20 a day. Yeah, I think a lot of these ducks do. They got a like 5-second sprint in them and then they're done. They're like, they're done after that. No. I gotta stop joking about the space bar. No, you don't have to push anything. It's totally random. All right, coming down, coming down. Keep going, keep going. The past couple winners have clearly been cheating with NOS boosting. I know. They pay me extra. They pay me and I give them a fast stuck. Oh man, it started to break below the 15-minute opening range low. I thought it was going to go lower. You showed the video of your daughter of you winning to your daughter and she said you cheated. How did she think you cheated? That's pretty funny. All right, slowly making its way down. Yeah, I feel like that's how they usually work it to keep it exciting. It's like the ducks that are in the front, they're not going to win. It's the random duck that you never saw coming that ends up winning the race. There's London Low. All right, let's see if we get a quick buy up off of this level. I'm not going to try to catch a falling knife or do anything stupid, but if we get an obvious buy up. That was a pretty heavy drop. I'm watching. Let's see if it bounces. One possible thing we could do, one thing that I like to do is I can get in a small position down here just because if it takes a loss, it would be a paper cut, like maybe risking $60, $70. And then once it like really buys up, maybe it reclaims London low or something, then you could always add to it. So that's an idea too. All right, I'm doing that. I took a small entry, 827. 827.25. Since it's at the bottom of this level, really only going to let it go down below that previous wick. So there's a 16-point stop. And then if we start to get some strong buying, I will potentially add. But so far it hasn't really given that good confirmation with volume and stuff. So I don't want to be in too heavy at this point. Isn't that crazy how the initial balance ended up getting so much bigger? What was I saying it was before? Like 109-point range or something crazy? Like something small. And now it's 189. So it doubled over the last 10 minutes, 5 minutes. That last 5-minute candle was an 82-point candle. Yeah, I'll add to my position if I get what would convince me that this thing is actually moving back up. There's not a ton of volume right now. There's not like speed and momentum off of this level. We're starting to get it though. That was a good candle right there. Yeah, honestly, I don't know if I'm going to add to this. Unless maybe it starts to like go up and make some higher highs, higher lows, and it's obviously looking like it's reversing and going to give us some continuation. The only time I like to add to my position is if I have a clear spot to move my stop loss to break even, so it's a free trade. So at this point, for me at least, I would say we're definitely getting some confirmation that at least we're going to move higher. Not that this is a total reversal. But if I add here, it's going to make my average more like there. And I don't like the risk to reward on that. It's not a good spot for my stop loss. Like, I would probably just end up getting stopped out at break even. So I don't see a good spot to add yet. So just in that original position for now. Why do I like Lucid and Tradeify? Lots of reasons. So, like I was saying a couple minutes ago, I like that Lucid doesn't have a monthly subscription fee. So, I feel like I have a lot of people in the chat that are somewhat new to trading. And that's helpful because you don't have to feel pressured to pass. I have my stop loss at break even. This might just stop me out. I also like their customer service is good. In my experience, they've always done the right thing for the traders, done a good job of like resolving accounts when there's outages, like Trade of 8 fails or whatever. I feel like they do the right thing. Their customer service is good. Their account fees are good. I think they're some of the best in the industry. Their payouts are super fast. Lucid's payouts are like 60 seconds or less. Tradeify's are usually like 2 to 4 hours. And many other prop firms I've traded with, it's closer to like 24 hours. So that's cool. And then I feel like their rules are fair too. I don't want to say it's easy to get a payout, but totally doable. What kind of target would I be looking at? Good question. With the lack of continuation off of this level, maybe the 15-minute opening range low, somewhere around 900. If we actually get some like excitement and it starts to move a little bit quicker, then I mean, maybe it could come up to VWAP around 988. That's more of a home run target, though. We also, I don't think we've filled the gap, have we? Isn't it at like 25.15 or something? But again, that's kind of a home run target. This thing is not moving off of this level. On Lucid, what platform do you actually trade on? I personally have stuck with Trade of 8. I know they recently added Trade C. And I know a couple people in our Discord that have been using it, and it seems like a good option. I use Trade of 8 though. Why do I prefer Ninja to Trade of 8? I trade on Trade of 8. I don't use Ninja. No, this is TradingView. I chart on TradingView. And then the actual trades are placed on Trade of 8. So this is where the trade is placed. But I chart on TradingView. All right, I'm trailing my stop loss into profit a little bit, just 6 points. 833.75 is where my stop is. I'm actually going to move it to 835 at the bottom of this last 1 minute candle. Why do I choose not to connect Tradeovate through TradingView? I do if I'm trading from my phone. Like if I place a trade on my computer and I want to like manage it from my phone if I'm going to go make a lunch or whatever. But I don't usually place the trades on TradingView. I don't know, just creature of habit, I guess. It's about to stop me out. Yep, there it is. There's just no continuation off of that level. Weak and choppy right now. So we do have initial balance low down here at 810. If it comes back down and like sweeps that, could be a good long opportunity. I think that's the next one I'm going to be waiting for. All right, gang, let's do a giveaway. I'm not loving this price action right now. And a duck race will be more fun. All right, links in the chat. I just added the Google form. Enter your info, and we'll do it here in, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. So initial balance low. If we retest that, I'll try along again. making its way back down. It's playing with us. Two more minutes, you guys. If you stepped away for a second and didn't hear me, I put the link in the chat for the giveaway form. Add your name. We'll do a deck race here in about a minute. Are we just going to get a move up now without coming down to IB low? That's messed up. Yeah, I agree, Verisot. We could go a lot lower. What did I hit at the gym this morning? Today was a rest day. My goal is to actually get some sleep because I usually wake up at 4 a.m. I don't really need to wake up until like 5:30 to start getting the kids ready for school. But my body woke up anyway. I was up at like 4:15. But I didn't go today. Took the day off. All right, gang. Last call. I'm grabbing these responses. I'm going to sort them. Make sure we don't have any duplicates. And we'll do a duck race. Kids are a pre-workout workout anyway. Yeah. Not quite the same in terms of like actual training, but yeah, they're exhausting. In a fun way. All right, taking some duplicates off and adding your name to the duck race. All right. Here we go. Tradeify select account. I know you guys have been training for this. Ready, set, go. Let's go. Jethro. Too hot, too fast. Too much, too soon. Oh, we got a tight race here. It must be snowing where Malcolm is. He looks cold. Ryan and Leslie, we got some twins. You guys are matching. Oh, Verisat. Verisat's lean and mean. He just has his number on. No costume to weigh him down. How the heck is Rob swimming with a giant, like, dinosaur costume on? Kim is looking fierce. Last 30 seconds. Who's gonna make a move? Summer. Uh-oh. Sheza thought she was gonna make a move. Kim? Kirk? Kale? Oh! That was a tight race at the end. Do we have Kale in the chat? Are you here, Kale? Troy Mack, always dead last. Oh, that's funny. Yay, Kale's here. Awesome. All right, Kale, reach out to me on Discord or Instagram, wherever. Just find me, send me a DM, and I'll get you a code for your free Tradeify select account. Thanks for playing. Well, it came down to the bottom-ish of that range and bounced again, not quite hitting that initial balance low. All right, gang. I think I'm going to call it. This price action sucks. And it's a good time to just save your account and possibly come back after FOMC during the press conference and see if any trades set up. Otherwise, just wait till tomorrow. But I'll see you guys in Discord, and then I'll be back mañana. Have a good one, gang.